So one of my game-changing moments would have happened recently. It was about a year and a half ago. I put, a list together when I guess when I first moved to New York of like artists I wanted to play with, and it was a slew of guys, and one of the guys was Pat Metheny. About a year and a half ago, he hit me up and like just emailed me out of the blue and was like, yeah, I'd love for you to come over and just jam. And I was just like, hey, yeah, man, like, all right, cool. Hey, Pat, like just playing it, trying to play it cool. So, we linked up. I went over to his house and we just played, me and him duo. And it was just very unassuming, just very like random and just like out of the blue. But, he was like, well, yeah, I've been, you've been on my list. And I was just like, wow, like, you see an artist like that, for him to have a list of like cats that's coming up, or like always looking at, who's like stirring up the pot, after, he could call anybody, you know what I mean? But he's always, hip to the young guys, and like, that goes for drummers and bass players and everybody. Like he knows what's going on. He keeps his ear to the street, as they say. So, he was like, yeah, you've been on my list, man. I've been wanting to check you out. I was like, word, okay, cool. And then, I thought that was it, and then a couple days later, he was like, yeah, do you want to do a tour with me in Indonesia? I was just like, yeah, I think I could do that. And, it was just, it was a game-changing moment for me, because I realized like that all the hard work I've been doing is not going unnoticed, you know what I mean? And it also goes to show, when you set goals for yourself and always have those goals in sight, they're achievable. Nothing is impossible. And it really put a lot of things in perspective for me, to know that, guys are always watching, like if you're making a name for yourself, and you're stirring the pot up, if you will, that they're watching, and they'll come get you, they'll come check you out, they'll want to hear you, they'll want to play with you. And that was a big game-changing moment for me. And in that session was another game-changing moment, because he was like, yeah, like you kind of remind me of Jack, man. And like Jack DeJohnette, he's like one of my biggest influences, one of the drummers I always looked up to and aspired to be like, and to make statements as he made them, make those marks. And he was like, yeah, I think Jack knows about you. And I was just like, man, all right, like, this is enough, man. I've had enough. Like, I can't talk to you anymore. Pat, can I call you Pat? It's just like, but that was a game-changing moment for me, for sure.